All right, puppy. Are you ready to flashback some stuff? I'm ready. So today we have basically a Michael Majors brew. He used it to make top 8 of the SCG Open in Charlotte. He basically built his deck at dinner the night before, playing, you just want to play with a bunch of his favorite cards. That was about it. And despite being super sick, like the entire weekend, he basically just crushed the tournament. So I was very impressed, and his deck was doing a lot of cool stuff. So I want to try it out. I mean, 4 Jace, 4 Snapcaster Mage, like, check out that value. How do you turn that down? He wrote an article about the deck. Pretty popular, had a lot of comments. He also provided a proposed updated list, and I went against that a little bit. We'll see if that's for better, for worse, or whatever. But basically, I cut a Remand for a Thought Scour and something else for a Dark Blast. I'm not sure what. And I cut a Terminate for a Go for the Throat. What am I missing? I don't know. Maybe I just have an extra card in here somewhere. Who knows? And changed up the mana base slightly, but it shouldn't really be that big of a deal. Basically, this is Blue Jund. That is effectively all that this is. So you're a tap-out control deck. You're looking to gain value with Jace. Oh, gee, that doesn't work. We're not going to do that anymore. Jace, Snapcaster Mage, Liliana the Veil, Kolaghan's Command. A lot of card advantage-y elements. Relatively low land count to go with our 4 Serum Visions, but I could totally see, maybe trying to go even lower. But it's, you want to play Creeping Tar Pit, so you have this land that's also a threat because the deck is pretty threat light. So you don't actually mind having that many extra lands, especially since you have Tasigur too. But that's about it. Like, if you look at this like Blue Jund, you will start to understand it more and more. It does have, like, some tricksy blue cards in it, but that's basically all this deck is. It is a sorcery speed, board control-y, attrition-y, sort of aggro-ish control deck. Like, you control the early game until you find some way to turn the corner, and then you just ride that zombie fish to victory. That's basically all it is. So fairly simple to play, actually. I think the hardest thing is figuring out what lands to fetch and when, because it can be kind of tricky because, you want multiple blue, so you can, like, snap a Serum Visions. Maybe you want multiple reds, so you can play, like, Bold and Terminate in a turn. You want multiple blacks, so you can play Liliana. So it can be kind of tricksy, and sometimes one of the fetch, like, you're going to have to make a decision as to, like, what to cut off when you're fetching. So don't be too concerned with fetching too much blue mana. This is not a Cryptic Command deck. If you have, like, 2 islands in play, you're usually, pretty well off. So main deck, yeah, kind of self-explanatory, I guess. Not a lot of craziness going on. I do think that Dark Blast should be somewhere in the 75. It does turbocharge your Zombie Fish and Tasigur, which is pretty nice. Also, just, nice at killing Dark Confidants, creatures out of Affinity, Noble Hierarchs, whatever. So, card is quite nice. Sideboard, a lot of creature removal. I'm not sure, like, I added a Languish or a Pyroclasm. I can't remember which one, but that's a lot of those. Maybe it shouldn't be so many, but I want to try them both out. Like, Plasm is supposed to be good against Affinity. Languish is supposed to be good against, like, maybe Wild Nicottle or some other bigger creature decks. Maybe the Abzan Company deck, but I guess, like, Plasm is just good there. So, yeah, maybe Languish doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But it does keep your big Delve creatures alive, which is pretty nice. Got a couple Nile Spell Bombs for, like, the Tasigur Mirrors. Vampiric Link for burn. Either you put it on your Zombie Fish or their Eidolon. Either one works quite well. A bunch of Dispels for blue mirrors, and they're okay against burn. And Molten Rains for Tron or Amulet. Basically, like, any sort of big mana deck. I cut the negates. I don't know. Basically, just felt like Thoughtseize might be better, but, still didn't even end up playing Thoughtseize, really. I don't know. I just felt like, what are we really negating? Basically, like, Dispel does a lot of the job that Negate would do. I couldn't think of a lot of spots where I would bring in Negate and actively want it, aside from, like, hard combo decks. And I was just like, yeah, whatever, I'll just try and beat up on all these creature decks, because that's basically what Modern's become at this point. But, yeah, that's about it. This deck looks like a lot of fun. I know Michael really enjoyed playing it, and both he and I are firm believers of Jace, Friends Prodigy, and Modern, so hopefully that guy gets to shine today, too. And let's get to the action.